Hello, everyone. This is Fred DeBerg from Spotlight Dance Arts Online, and this is another edition of Fred Talk. Today, I get the distinct privilege of interviewing somebody that I haven't seen for a while, but I have to tell you, I love this man. His name is Leonard Patton. Leonard, it's so good to see you. How you been?
I've been great. I've been great.
Yeah, you've
Living,
been
yeah.
busy. I see you online all the time. I mean, tell me what you've been doing these days.
Well, I mean, I've been doing quite a bit. I mean, since COVID hit, those first
Hmm.
couple months, I didn't do much at all, which was actually at that time kind of good for me because my life is always so busy, and
You got a
I think,
break. You gotta,
yeah,
you gotta, you got a
I
breather.
think it was personally, I think COVID is different for everybody. For me, it was like God's way of slowing me down. It's like, hey, just slow down for a while. So just hanging with the family. But then, I've been working a lot with this theater in Santee off Broadway Live, and we've been doing these concert shows. So they have these tribute concert shows.
Yeah.
And so when that second shutdown
Mm.
in July, they build a whole stage outside.
Oh, they did.
So yeah, and
I
it's
didn't know
and
that.
so they've been doing these outside these dinner shows. So I've been working with them. So basically, since we were rehearsing in July, between July and the end of November, I've been doing something with them almost every weekend, actually.
Wow. Well, at
Yeah,
least you're
and
doing something. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
and
Well,
then
I want this interview, Leonard, is
yeah.
really an opportunity for the San Diego County and abroad, just to get to know you. I mean, you are one of the most talented guys that I personally have ever met. I think you're an amazing musician. Your background is incredible. We've had the distinct privilege, or I've had the distinct privilege of getting to work with you in
Wait,
shows
no, no, no,
in
no.
the
I got to work
past.
with you.
All right. No, okay. The Mutual Admiration Society. How about
Yeah,
that? No, and I'm so glad to hear that you've been doing off Broadway and stuff. I want people to get to know you, and I wanted to ask you. So,
yeah.
when did you know that you wanted to be involved with music? When did it start?
Well, I guess, it, it,
Go way back. Go
yeah,
way, way back.
I guess when I was a kid, but I didn't really know what I wanted. At some point in time, you got to discover the passion that you already have.
Right, right.
And so yeah, I love to sing and all that, but at some point, you know, sometimes it's in while you're still in school, sometimes it's
Right,
after
right,
in
right.
college.
Where did you go to
And
school, by the way?
uh, which high school or college?
Either. Or how about both?
I went to Mira Mesa High School. Grew
Oh,
up
did you?
in Mira Mesa. Yeah, go Marauders! Woo! So I sung in the choirs there. Actually, I sung in choirs since middle school, and then my first college was, gosh, I was a professional student for years, but my first college was USIU. Do you remember USIU?
I do. I
United
do.
States
Let's see.
International
Were
University.
you working it with Jack Tigert at all?
Yep, worked with Chad Tigert,
Yeah.
and a lot of good people there. Jamie Foxx was there at that time. Um, he wasn't named Jamie Foxx then, but um, Eric Bishop.
Oh, Aaron
um,
Bishop. I didn't know that. He
Eric
switched his
Bishop, yeah,
name. Oh my goodness.
yeah. So um, I was doing musical theater there, and I was there for a few years. Then I went to Mesa College, um, got started doing classical, but that's really where I started singing jazz. I got into the applied classical music
Was it Mesa
program,
College? Mesa
Mesa
College?
College, yeah.
Yeah.
And then after there, I went to Berkeley School of Music in Boston for a little while. Then I
Fantastic.
came back and thought I wanted to do music therapy, so I went to Chapman University in Orange.
Oh, did you say
Didn't
music therapy?
Yeah, I almost got a music therapy degree in '98, but it didn't happen. I
Yeah.
fell short. Then I got married, and then I stopped school until, and then I went
So,
back to school later. But yeah,
so Leonard, what was the year that you got married?
1998.
It was 1998. Oh my
It's the
goodness.
same year the Padres went to the World Series.
That's right. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it hasn't happened since.
I,
No.
why you rubbing it in, man? Why you gotta?
I
Why you gotta?
know.
I thought
Oh
this was
my
gonna be a
goodness.
nice conversation.
Oh my goodness. Now
Yeah.
remind me of your wife's name.
Jerusha,
Say it again.
Jerusha.
Jerusha.
Yeah,
That's an exotic name.
yeah.
I
It's
like
actually
it.
it's actually one
It's
of
a very,
those lesser
that's a
known
very
names in the
sexy
Bible.
name.
It is. It is.
Jerusha. I
Jerusha.
love it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. Let's see. We did, well, let's see. We did Alice together at Christian Community
We
Theater.
did 3 shows. We did
I think
Route
we did
60.
Angel's Arms. We did Angel
So
Arms, and
the very first thing we did was Route 66. That's the first time I met you.
can I tell you that was awesome. That
That
was
was
so
fun.
awesome. I
And
mean,
then we
that
did and um then we did Alice.
that's right.
Then we did Angel's Arms.
That's right. That's
Sam
right.
Rams. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, Route 66, I would love to revisit that one. Wasn't that fun?
That was
I
fun.
mean,
That was super
yeah. I
fun.
mean,
Yeah.
you have now, did you ever end up, for those of you who don't know, Route 66 is from the same writers of Forever Plaid, which was on forever. And I
Forever.
know originally Christian Community Theater wanted to do Forever Plaid. They ended up doing it, but they originally wanted to do it, didn't have the rights to it for some reason, if you remember,
Yeah.
and we ended up doing Route 66 instead. So that was an interesting little tidbit of information there.
Yeah.
Now you've been, oh, I have to tell you, one of my favorite things that you did recently was that dub over where you did all your voices. You did,
A Holy Night thing.
oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if it was that one. Was there another one that you did too?
There might be another one. There's different ones, but the one that's been
Leonard, it
getting
is so
shared every
good.
Christmas. Oh, thanks.
It was so good. I mean, I probably gave you 100 views of that one on YouTube myself. It was just so amazing, and it just made me want to see you, even though we haven't connected, for a while. It made me want to see you. I mean, now before we came online, you said that you were teaching a Zoom.
I was teaching a Zoom voice lesson, so
Right.
it was
Right.
yeah. It's just
Now,
doing it. So one Zoom thing right to another. Didn't have to
well,
drive anywhere. That's nice, right?
yeah. Well, praise God for Zoom. Can I tell you? Leonard, do you have kids?
I have 3.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So how old are they?
19, 18, 14. I've got one daughter. She's 14.
All teenagers. Oh.
Yeah.
And you got one on the verge of 20.
Yep. In a couple
Ooh.
months.
So you have a legal adult. Okay. Okay. What is fatherhood like to you?
I love it. I mean, there's always challenges, of
Well,
course.
how about having a whole house of teenagers?
It's
Is that a loaded question?
yeah, it's
Now be careful now, because
they
your
have
wife
their
your
moments.
wife
There's
can see
moments.
this. No.
There's moments every they have their moment, their teenage moment where,
Mhm.
it's just
Well, they're coming into their own, so.
yeah, and so that's just the way it is. But my boys are, they work and they're kind of they're learning responsibility and stuff. So
Do you realize my daughter is 33
that's crazy.
and my son is 25?
That's crazy.
Both of them are married, and I'm a grandfather.
well, that's, you're lying, but anyway.
I'm a
No,
grandpa.
I've seen pictures, so I know,
Oh yeah,
I know it's true.
you've seen little Freddie, my
Yeah,
namesake.
yeah.
He's pretty awesome. He's pretty awesome. You know what, Leonard, if you were to think, off the top of your head, what would be one of those projects that really sticks out in your memory?
Um, well, probably my first, actually, I'll say there's two things.
Okay.
One is my first album that I released in 2008.
What
That
was the
was
title of that? What was the title
Love,
of your
Love,
album?
Life and Song. And
All right.
I remember because actually understudying. Oh, it actually, it was the same summer that we did Alice. So I released it in like June or
Wow.
July. Yeah. And I was understudying my friend Keith Jefferson in Boomers at Lambs,
That's
which
right.
ultimately years later, I did Boomers like a couple different times, but and it was a Friday night. I had a CD release, and I remember Carrie. Uh, it was downtown at the Dizzy's, when Dizzy's was at the Wine and Culinary Center, which is like Boomers was being done at the Horton Grand Theater, and so that
Is
Friday,
Carrie is
Carrie,
is Carrie
Carrie me,
still at Lambs?
yep, she's still there. She's still
Oh,
there.
okay.
So they released rehearsal early to all come to my CD release.
Mm.
And so and that was a special time. So that's one. And then the other was in 2010. I told you I went back to school. I went back to school in 2007, 2008, 2007, whatever. I went to, I finally got my bachelor's at Cal State San Marcos, and then I did masters at SDSU. Um,
Wow.
so
Wow.
when
Did you complete your master's?
I completed it in 2010, and I
Congratulations,
did.
my friend.
Thank you. So that, accomplishing that and doing my my grad recital, I had like 20 musicians involved. It
Wow.
was pretty awesome. So
But you didn't
that was a
call
big
me,
thing.
man.
I barely knew. Well,
I'm teasing you.
it's yeah, I barely knew you. I mean, we had done, like I said, I think we did Alice like a year before that, or a year and a half.
Exactly.
Not Alice. Route 66. Sorry, Route
Route
66 a year
66.
and a half. Yeah,
Right.
Alice was that same year that I did my release, and and Boomers. So
Yeah, it was
yeah,
so funny. You mentioned Alice again, and boy, was that an adventure. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know if you remember. I mean, the very like 3 days, 4 days before we opened, they were just finishing the last scenes, and oh my gosh, they were writing it, and I couldn't believe that. Well, they made my part as R. Abbott, the White Rabbit. Everybody,
yeah.
um, R. Abbott. They made him basically become Satan. I was like, wow, I just went from a very nice man to being Satan. That was really cool. And you were the kind of the personification of Jesus. You remember that?
Yeah, yeah,
Or God?
yeah,
And oh man, that elevator scene where I went
yeah,
down and the lights turned red and you were like, oh, that was really cool.
yeah. That was
That
fun.
was
That was
cool.
fun. Yeah,
Well, yeah, what an adventure, what an adventure. I can't wait for when COVID starts settling down and more people maybe get the vaccination. I can't wait to get this vaccination. I'm like,
yeah,
please,
yeah,
please, can we do this?
yeah,
Um, we need to stay in contact better than we have. I mean,
yeah. Well,
that many
here's the
years.
thing. Here's the thing, Fred. It's sometimes things happen. Well, not sometimes, all the time
Mhm,
things happen for a reason.
absolutely.
And there are some people that I've been working with consistently or keeping,
Right.
and then there's some that I haven't worked with for a while. But then you reconnect, and then it's like you never, like things never And
Exactly.
that's the thing is if you know, I mean, I always tell people, especially young people, make sure work well with the people around you. You're not going to
Mhm.
always work with them consistently,
Right.
but you never know. 5 years, 10 years down the road, you have an opportunity, and you reconnect, or you have an opportunity to get hired by
Absolutely.
that person you worked
Exactly.
with, and that's
Exactly.
happened multiple times in my life. So
Exactly.
it's our reconnecting now is meant to happen.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. You know what? But now we can keep each other in mind, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Leonard, thank you so much for this time. I mean, I really cherish the fact that you were willing to do this Fred Talk in the Spotlight interview, and
Yeah.
it's just a it's just a pleasure to talk to you again. And thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That any time.
Oh, this is awesome. This is
This
awesome.
is fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this episode of Fred Talk in the Spotlight. Again, my name is Fred DeBerg, and the whole purpose of these interviews is to keep the arts alive in San Diego. God bless you
Yes.
guys. Have a great day.
Yes. Yes.